the amazing reality of resurrecting the dead. Maybe you have had someone very close to you fall asleep in death. May you be encouraged by the following scriptures that highlight the resurrection as it truly is, a reality and a future for those who exercise faith in Jesus Christ and the one who sent him forth, Jehovah the Almighty, King of eternity, the only true God. Jehovah listened to Elijah's request, and the life of the child came back into him, and he revived. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 22. When Elijah came into the house, the boy was lying dead on his bed. He went in and closed the door behind them both and began to pray to Jehovah. Then he got up on the bed and lay down on the child and put his own mouth on the boy's mouth, his own eyes on his eyes, and his own palms on his palms, and kept bent over him, and the child's body started to grow warm. 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 32 to 34. As some men were burying a man, they saw the marauder band, so they quickly threw the man into Elisha's burial place and ran off. When the man touched the bones of Elisha, he came to life and stood on his feet. 2 Kings chapter 13, verse 21. Jesus said, "Leave the place, for the little girl did not die, but is sleeping." At this they began to laugh at him scornfully. As soon as the crowd had been sent outside, he went in and took hold of her hand, and the little girl got up. Matthew chapter 9, verses 24 and 25. Then, taking the hand of the child, he said to her, "Talitha cumi," which when translated means, "Little girl, I say to you, get up." And immediately the girl rose and began walking. Mark chapter 5, verses 41 and 42. Then he said, "Young man, I say to you, get up." And the dead man sat up and started to speak. Luke chapter 7, verses 14 and 15. But he took her by the hand and called to her, "Child, get up." And her spirit returned, and she rose immediately. Luke chapter 8, verses 54 and 55. When he had said these things, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The man who had been dead came out with his feet and hands bound with wrappings, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Free him and let him go." John chapter 11, verses 43 and 44. And Peter then put everyone outside, and kneeling down he prayed. Then turning toward the body he said, "Tabitha, rise." She opened her eyes, and as she caught sight of Peter, she sat up. Acts chapter 9, verse 40. Seated at the window, a young man named Eutychus sank into a deep sleep while Paul kept talking, and overcome by sleep, he fell down from the third story and was picked up dead. But Paul went downstairs, threw himself on him and embraced him, and said, "Stop making a commotion, for he is alive." Acts chapter 20, verses 9 and 10. May Jehovah, the Father of tender mercies, comfort you in all your trials and tribulations.